Welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. Hope everyone who was here last live stream has gotten a chance to take a break, and I know I was giving my my voice a rest. Hey Eric, welcome back. One more thing that that AI is certainly helping out with. I will say I didn't expect that one though, but I can certainly see it. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting, is that it'd be able to give a lot of ideas for NPCs, which, as a DM, is arguably one of the harder things to generate for tabletop, is all the NPCs and interactions that they're going to have with your party. It's interesting that it was able to generate a dungeon for you, though. How long has your tabletop group been going, Eric? And not necessarily the group. I'm sure people have come in and gone, but how long is your? How long have you been doing it? Hey Joshua, welcome to the stream. Nice. Well done. It's always very, very good to get a long-term group/campaign started, and even if people swap in and out throughout it, it just adds more to it. It's always a lot of fun. Yeah, that's something also that I find is very handy, having pre-rolled, up-to-date spare characters available. That as the DM you can swap in from a quick RP perspective in case you've got a party member that's gone, or somebody that wants to try something a little different. Oh boy, there's some RP possibilities in that combination. Yeah, Tempest Clerics definitely turn the old school mentality of a cleric on its head. They really do. You know, when clerics started, I remember way back, when clerics started, they weren't really the healer, quote unquote. They were like the Paladin. They were the divine, divine evil, smiting evil type of doer without obviously all the Paladin skills that go along with it. And then with all the changes over the years with more martial classes and subclasses coming to the fore throughout all the changes, the cleric was almost relegated by default to a healer / buffer role. And they stayed that way for a long time. And it took some work with, rules addendums and that sort of stuff to really get to the point where you have people who are that healing is a side point for them. They are there to mix it up with everybody else. And like I say, the more different ways you can play any of the classic original classes, I think is much better. That's why I've always been in favor of all of the rules expansions and the third party, Wizards of the Coast endorsed expansions for them. It just allows so many different ways for individual people to play those, what used to be really pigeonholed characters or classes. Yep, that's exactly right. Alright, let's get ready to get started here. Another good timing on the music there. Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 9 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Paladin gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, on some admin notes, everyone just make sure that if you don't have automatic downloads on, that you've got your game up to date. There was a small behind-the-scenes update that was put out later in the week this week, so you want to make sure you're topped up on your game there. Also, just from a channel perspective, make sure to note that this Wednesday I am going to be out of town, actually on Tuesday and Wednesday, for a family emergency, so I will not be in town for the Starfield livestream. What I am going to do though, however, is record a 3-hour live stream-esque video, and I will just set that to go public on Wednesday as well. So hopefully if you're interested in that or you're following along with that, you'll be able to have your Starfield fixed this coming week as well. I will be back in time for the weekend's live streams, so the Baldur's Gate live streams today are going to be perfectly kept on schedule next week as well on Saturday. So pay attention to the community tab, and there will be a post that I'll put up just reminding everybody about that, and hopefully everything will go okay. So on a recap here, at the end of last live stream, we had made our way down farther into the tea house at the Hag's Lair, and we have reached the trapped area before we get to Auntie Ethel, and that was a good spot to end the live stream last week. I had mentioned last week that I wanted to possibly illustrate a different way to go about this trapped room, and that's where we're going to start off today before we get into the main encounter with Ethel herself. So here we are, and this area here is full of nauseous clouds and trapped exploding flowers. And the goal here is twofold. One, you're ultimately trying to make your way down into this area here. However, there also is another area over here that we are going to want to explore as well. Okay, so to do that, how this is normally played, and we can go ahead and jump our characters across this gap to begin with. And as soon as we get over here, we're going to break our group. We're going to bring Shadowheart, who never seems to want to join up, and bring her over here as well. Now, inside of here, there is a vent, which is letting out these nauseous fumes. And then you have these flowers, and all of these things are traps. And just like all the other traps, even though you can see them, you have to be able to discover them or perceive them to be able to deactivate them. So with the nauseous clouds here, you can't even see the vents on the ground that are letting these out until you perceive them. Now, the DCs for the flowers and the vents are pretty high. Some of them are DC, most of them are DC 15. There are a few that are DC 20. So passing all of those rolls here to find all of these things can be a little iffy. Okay? And you can't target, for instance, the flowers here, even if my path wasn't interrupted. You can't target the flowers and destroy them without having passed a perception check on them first. Alright? So it can get a little difficult to navigate your way through here. So what a lot of people do is they will make their way over to this area, and you can actually jump yourself down to this lower area here. You're going to take fall damage in doing it, but you can jump yourself down here into this lower area. You can make your way down to here, and you can jump yourself down to here. Then you can jump yourself over to here and make your way down and around it. Like I say, you're going to take some fall damage from those jumps, but it is perfectly doable. And that's kind of been the way that you see most in in content creators' guides on how to get through this area. You can also buff yourself up as much as you can here and get your ability check rolls up as high as you can to be able to try and find all of these things. However, there is another way to go about this. The main issue here are the nauseous vents or fumes that are out here. So you saw last time that we picked up all of the whispering masks from the enemies that we defeated in the room previously. However, you don't have to pick those up. There are 4 more masks sitting on a table out in front. But you need to... I find that these masks are convenient and very easy to use with what we're going to do next. So the first thing that I'm going to do is have Shadowheart cast Protection from Evil and Good on Astarion. And then I'm going to have Astarion put on one of these masks.
Hello, Petal. My, the mask suits you. Just relax. See the world with fresh eyes. And let your dear old Auntie Ethel look after you.
Okay, now normally wearing one of these masks is a bad idea. And that's because you're going to see these saving throws pop up. And they're going to continue to pop up every few seconds. Now, if you fail one of these, then you go into a locked down state, meaning that Auntie Ethel has taken over for you and you can't move, you can't change any of your items, you can't do any of that. And you need to find some other magical way to remove that mask and free up your character. Okay? However, this mask also comes with a bonus to it that that you don't really know about, and it doesn't explain it here, but the masks allow you to see things that are unseen. Okay? And the Protection from Evil and Good spell allows you that even though you fail your saving throw, it keeps you from being taken over. So you can see I can move. I'm able to move. I am able to take off this mask if I want, because she's not really controlling me, because Protection from Evil and Good is protecting me from her influence.
Just relax.
Now, the other thing about this mask is I'm going to move up here, and you see I instantly see the peculiar flowers, and I have a disarm icon for it now, and I saw the vent in the ground, and if you zoom in, you can still see it. Okay, so what you want to do is then take one of these masks, and you want to throw it on top of it. And now if you move back away, the cloud does not come back out. Just like throwing a crate or a barrel or something on top of the vent, the mask blocks it. Right, so now if I swap to one of my other characters or something, you can see there's no nauseous cloud there. And now they can see the flower to disarm it. So now I can have Astarion go up.
Traps. How considerate.
Give in, sweet one. So
And move up and try and disarm these flowers. Now, some of them are just going to basically disarm themselves, so to speak. The disarm prompt goes away. Okay, but here I can. Okay, and what this is going to do is it's going to keep any of your other characters from running into them and triggering them, because we're not going to have anybody else put a mask on. We don't want to waste all of our spell slots casting protection from evil and good one at a time and having everybody run down to the bottom. We want to clear the way for everybody else to follow us. Okay, so here I can throw the mask there and continue on down the pathway. Okay, and you see what happens when your character gets out of range. When they get... The cloud only disappears when your character with the mask gets close to it. Once they move away from it, it comes back unless you've covered up the vent. You can see this cloud has not come back. It looks like I did miss, possibly, this flower. Okay, so I did. This flower, like I say, sometimes the mask detection here of these things is a little bit buggy. So once you detect the vents with your mask, you can't disarm them. You have to cover them up. Same thing with some of these flowers. Sometimes you will detect them, and even though there's a disarm trigger next to them, you won't be able to disarm them. They will just magically disarm themselves, or they won't disarm themselves at all, and you have to negotiate, you have to navigate around them. Okay, so here you can see there's the vent. And then we can disarm the two flowers. And this is something that you aren't really explained much more beyond that very first encounter with the door. When the masks were sitting right next to the door, and it told you that the masks allow you to see unseen things. Okay, so it's just one of those things that if you're very unlikely to find out on your own, because of how dangerous this mask is when you put it on.
There are traps about.
Because, yeah, like Eric said, they will... sometimes you will just stand there and not do anything. Sometimes you will... Oh, wow. Did I just roll 2 ones? That's amazing. Okay. Well, hopefully we got all of that out of our system. Yeah, Pete, there's just so many traps here to try and perceive that your chances of actually getting them all done without save scumming is very, very low. With save scumming, obviously you can just keep doing it over and over again, but it's pretty hard. So the other thing about doing this without the mask is that you have to get your characters into very specific locations to be able to get close enough to find the vents. And sometimes you can't actually even get a perception check on the vent. This one's notorious for that.
A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors.
The vent is way down here, and getting yourself close enough to the vent to even perceive it is sometimes pretty hard. And yeah, that's the thing about traps is you may have multiple disarm kits, but you can't use multiple disarm kits on a trap. If you fail a trap, it's going to go off unless you choose to use an inspiration to re-roll it.
Someone doesn't like visitors.
With trap disarm kits, you can keep doing it, or with lockpicks, you can keep doing it over and over and over again until you run out of lockpicks, but not with trap disarm kits.
Be careful. There are traps about.
Okay. So you don't necessarily have to disarm this one here, and it looks like it went away anyway. But now I'm nowhere near any of these vents, and there are no more nauseous clouds anywhere. So that lets you know that I've successfully covered up all of them.
Give in, sweet one. Serve your dear.
And I can make my way up here to the rest of the group.
Fighting me.
And now, when I take this off, I still have the protection from evil and good spell. It lasts until a long rest or until her concentration gets broken.
Is that blood?
But now,
Never mind.
if I move up here throughout these areas, you can see all of the nauseous clouds are now gone.
If not over, then through.
And I have disarmed all of, hopefully, disarmed all of the flowers, unless some of them are glitched. And you can make your way down here to the bottom safely. Okay, so just an alternate way to do that that is honestly quite a bit easier than save scumming your way through this. Saves quite a bit of time.
How delicious.
We're actually going
Subtle
to
steps.
head back up here, and I don't think I can make this with Astarion. I'm going to put the mask back on. I don't think he has a potion.
It's revealed in all its stinking glory.
Okay, so there is one little pixel where I can reach up here. And we get another one of these illusionary doors. This one you have to have a mask on to be able to get through. Okay. And it leads you back into this other room in here. So, holding Alt, you can pick up some camp supplies here, some other items. We get in here and we get this mushroom circle. We're going to go ahead and click on this. And this has taken us now into the Underdark, and I guess I can get rid of the annoying saving throws. It's taken us into the Underdark here. We got an inspiration back. And we're going to go through just real quickly here.
What's this?
Pick up some items here. And then we're going to make our way out of this room. Okay. So just checking to make sure nothing else. Okay. And we're going to head out here. And again, this is a fake wall. You do not need the mask to be able to get through this wall. And it puts you out here in a new area of the Underdark. We're just going to pick up all the Sylvan Stones. And I think there's one more over here. Yep. Okay, now how you access this place normally is you come down here in the Underdark, you find this dead drow, which there's a note on it that says it fell from a great height. And you have to jump from mushroom to mushroom. And some of these are illusionary platforms. And when you jump up to one, you'll get a perception check. And if you don't pass it, then you don't know which of the platforms is an illusionary one. And you could jump to it and fall down to the bottom and take fall damage or die because of it. However, coming in this way up here, you can click the mushroom circle. And this activates the mushroom circle from the top. So now while you're in the Underdark, if you want to walk out, you now have another way to get back up here to the top. Okay. So it avoids having to do any of this mushroom climbing parkour stuff. If you also want to take this opportunity to go down and deal with the encounter down here, it's an easy way to get, again, from the overworld into the Underdark. Right? But you have to have a mask on to be able to get through
How about this?
Well,
the gnarled door up here at the top. So this door here, I don't have my mask on. And, well, actually, now that I've triggered it, it might be. No. You see, you can't walk through this without your mask on. Okay, so I still have protection from evil and good on. I can put my mask on, and now I can walk through there. Okay, so you have to have a mask to be able to get in there and open that up. So what you can do, again, if you're trying to get your entire party in there, is you can equip somebody with the mask, and when the door goes illusionary, they can move through. You can do the same protection from evil and good on your other party members and just swap the mask back and forth and get everybody through.
I have a lot on my mind, and well,
Okay, so now we get to
step forward.
the fun part here. We're going to get an autosave as soon as we walk in here, and we're going to have this encounter, which we are used to. We've seen this several times. Well, the full version of the game changed this encounter slightly, but not horribly. Remember that we killed the 4 masked Ethel captives in the previous room. If you did not kill them, then she will summon all 4 of them into this room to help her during this fight. Now, there are ways around that, in that if you are able to just nuke her down so that you're able to get her health down within 1 turn to below the 20 hit point level requirement, then she will summon them in, but they won't attack because she will immediately want to make a bargain with you. But otherwise, as soon as you start this encounter, on her turn, she's going to summon them in. But since we've killed them previously, we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go into sneak mode when we move in here.
Wanted the easy path.
There, in the cage.
And we're going to split our group. And you can see that there's another flower over here. So we want to disarm this flower just like we do all of the others. However, I don't want Astarion to be knocked out of hiding here. So we're going to do this the normal way, so to speak. In that we're going to cast Guidance. And we're going to approach this flower and see if we can perceive it so that we can have Astarion come up and disarm it. Okay, so he failed it. No, it's a critical fail. But you can see it's still a DC 15. Okay, so it is not going to be easy to find this thing at all.
I'm ready. I must keep going.
Oops.
Quiet as a mouse. Need to press onward. Best avoid
Okay.
that trap.
So good. She was able to find it.
All's well that ends.
So now we'll just bring Astarion up here to disarm it. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that I have all of my options for maneuvering around this corner available to me here in a minute. Alright, so that's disarmed, and now I'm going to turn off the torch. Okay. So now as far as my setup for this, it's fairly straightforward. There are a bunch of different ways that you can go about playing this encounter. None of them are right or wrong. But what I normally do is position Gale up here kind of at this lip, this high ground up here to start with. I take Astarion down here and around.
Stop it! All of you!
Okay, and now is for my Paladin.
Light on my feet.
My Paladin is going to be coming into this encounter from the backside here.
The mission has to come first.
And Shadowheart, I move down here. Okay. So this is kind of the generic setup of how I'm going to approach this. Now, as far as items, the only thing that I have right now, and you can do this with any character as long as you have saved bottles of water. I currently have Gale with the Rain Dancer, so he gets the Create Water spell with this. And there's another reason why I like using the Create Water spell on this. And you'll see that here. Well, you will possibly see that here in a second. But the Create Water spell is definitely going to impart the wet condition on Mayrina. Meaning that when you cast it, she is absolutely going to be hit with it and she's going to become wet. When you throw a water bottle up there, sometimes it won't make her wet because the water bottle has a much smaller radius on it. And depending upon where it hits and what you're physically clicking on to throw it up here, she might not get wet. And you want her to have a status effect. And the wet is the easiest one to impart upon her. So, other than that, as far as your preparations go, it's really just making sure that they're kind of set up and ready to go down. Because you can see, like we've explored before, here's my pathing. When I get down here, there's a section of this bridge I can't walk to. And that's because Auntie Ethel's standing right there. Okay, she's right here in this section of the bridge. All right. So what I'm going to do with Astarion here is I'm going to actually use an AoE arrow. It doesn't matter which one you use to do it. However, I would avoid using the arrow of thunder, because even though this looks like it's a solid piece here, sometimes if she does fail her saving throw and she gets pushed off, I've seen her get pushed like through a tiny hole here and she just falls into the void below. So if you want the chance at getting the good reward from this, you don't want to do something that's going to push her out of the way. So any of these are normally pretty good here. So any of your AoE arrows. So I'm just going to go with an arrow of lightning because I don't want to create a surface underneath of her. And I'm just going to shoot this arrow right here into this area where it's going to hit her. Okay, so we rolled initiative. Okay, and she instantly used her turn to create her clones, which happens very rarely, but does happen. And Shadowheart might go down here. Okay, so missed both of the attacks on. Oh no, is you gonna shove him off? Okay, no. Okay, so started off bad because of the roll there that she made to create her clones. She doesn't do that very often on her very first turn. But she is capable of doing it. So here we just have to deal something else here to get rid of these clones. And the good thing about this is that a lot of times Gale in this spot will not be brought into combat. Okay? So Gale is not in combat right now. We have 4 Auntie Ethels, and we don't know which one of them is the real one here. So in this position, you can see we can reach this one. Magic Missile will reach that one. It will not reach that one, and it will not reach that one. Okay? So here we have an option. We can actually get by here. I don't know as if we'll be able to reach this one when we can reach the other 3, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to move Gale down here, and can I still reach this one? I can. Too far, and I can now reach that one. So let's move down a little bit closer. Still good there. Too far, and okay. So yeah, we're probably going to get ourselves into a position where we can't reach all of them because of this one up here. Okay, so I can reach all of them here. So I'm going to upcast this. And I'm going to get rid of all of the hag illusions first. Now, normally you would be casting water on this here, but I have another turn, probably at least another 3 turns before it burns completely out. And it's more important for me to find out which of the hags is the real one, so I can start dealing damage to her as soon as I can. And I upcasted it so that I can hit all 4 hags. Okay, so here is the real Auntie Ethel. And just as a clue, if you get a hag that pops up here on the top level, the vast majority of the time, that is the real Ethel. The others that she tends to conjure are going to be down here on this lower platform, some first. Okay? So it's not always the case, but the vast majority of my playthroughs, it has been the case. So now that we know the real Ethel, which one is there, we want to impart a status effect to Ethel. And the reason for that is when she creates her duplicates, we can do just like Gale did, but we want to know which one is the real one so that we can keep focusing all of our big damage on her and just use Gale's magic missile to take out the others. And that status effect will remain on the real Ethel, but it will not be present on the fake Ethels. And that's what's going to help you tell them apart. So, as part of that, what I would like to do... So, out of range. That was expected, but the problem's going to be making sure that I can still see her when I get to a specific location.
Get me out! On my way.
Yeah, this could be a little tricky. This might be wasted movement here. Can she still see Auntie Ethel? Okay, so she can. Just got a very low chance to hit. Low ground, I've got disadvantage because of my poisoning. And I should have done that, and I didn't. I should have spread out my antidotes. But my paladin is not in combat. So I should be able to split these out and give them to everybody else without using my turn. Okay. So now Shadowheart can use her bonus action to take an antidote. And now she's up to a 40% chance just because of the low ground difference. And I think I would like to try this. Even with only 40%. I'm thinking. Thinking if I want to do it. Yeah, even with only a 40% chance, I'm going to take the chance and see if we can get a hit here and see if we can get Guiding Bolt inflicted upon her. Okay, that worked out extremely well. Now for the next 2 turns, she has the Guiding Bolt condition given to her. Now what's going to happen though is that that Guiding Bolt condition is going to go away as soon as she takes damage. So, and my Paladin, I should have actually done this after my Paladin. Yeah, I should have brought my Paladin in first. But this is going to give my Paladin advantage on this attack against her. And I want this thing to deal max possible damage here. Okay, so I'm going to go in heavy here. I'm also going to take a potion of speed. Okay, I'm also going to take a potion of speed. And then I'm going to go in and try and land. And remember, I've got a +3 for my attack. Oh, actually, I don't have any of that yet. So I'm just going to go in with a potion of speed. And... oh, 70% chance and he missed. Oh, I didn't need that. Oh, come on. You're killing me, Smalls. Oh. With advantage, he rolled 2d20 and only rolled a max of 10. Oh, you're killing me. Oh,
Creator,
you're killing me.
Destroyer. This feels good.
Okay, so with her being up there, Astarion is not going to be able to do much. But that's fine. We want to get... Astarion is going to be prepping here for future Ethels that may come out. Okay, we don't want to try and move everybody right over here next to her. Because we haven't caused hardly any damage, and she's going to have more opportunity here to create her Hag's Trickery clones. And we're just not going to be close enough for Astarion to be able to get into this fight this turn. So...
Need to stay focused.
Alright, so that didn't go the way I wanted, necessarily. Okay, so here's my second turn now, but you can see that we've lost advantage on this. So now let's see what options we have. So with Ethel, her wisdom is 14, so she's getting a +2 to wisdom checks. Her strength is really high, so she's really resistant to being shoved around. So we want to keep all of that in mind when we start thinking about how we're going to go about this, because Tasha's Hideous Laughter has only a 30% chance to land. Any of our smites here are going to have that 45% chance to land. Okay? You don't have to worry about Ethel dropping any weapons or anything, so you don't have to worry, you know, about a disarming smite or something like that. or a disarming attack. You don't have to do any of that. It's really just throwing out the damage, and Divine Smite is a way to do that. Now, before I do this, she's a fae. She's not a celestial, a fiend, or an undead, so Divine Sense isn't going to do anything. However, Divine Favor, if I manage to hit, would allow me to do an additional 1d4 of radiant damage. It's a bonus action here, so probably no reason not to do it. And now we'll just try and go in with a Divine Smite and see if we hit it. Roll a 7. Okay, so she's moving away, so I'm going to use my attack of opportunity here. Just breathe. Just breathe. Okay. Where we are here, again, Astarion is not going to be able to get into this fight. However, I can, since he's not doing anything else. I don't think he's going to be able to reach up here with anything. Yeah, doesn't matter if I even move him up. Okay, so I don't know if that's actually going to work or not. We'll see. But he's not going to be able to do anything here. I could again try and move him around over here, but if she creates more illusions, they're going to be all around here, and I don't want to take the chance that Gale isn't going to be able to see one of them. So I would like to have somebody staying on this side for that eventuality.
My faith will protect me.
So Shadowheart obviously needs to just get out of here. I would prefer not to jump, but I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself. Got a good roll. Now if I can move out of here, I can. Okay, and I want to, again, take this opportunity to try and land a Guiding Bolt here. This isn't going to do anything to make it hit easier, it's just I have more level 2 spell slots. Okay, so that missed.
Swords meet swords.
So now Gale gets a chance here to attack her free and clear. So looking at her, she doesn't have any resistances here to worry about. He's on the low ground, so he's going to have a penalty here to any of his 2 hit rolls. However, I would like to just make sure that this is going to be taken care of. Okay. Wow, what did I just say about depending upon where you click, the create water is going to solve it all? Here it didn't. So we'll wait and see what happens here. Okay. And this is the other reason that I wanted that to land, is because Mayrina here is wet. this Mayrina here is not. Okay, so the wet landed here. She's no longer in the cage, which is good. I don't have to worry about it burning itself down. But that's the real Mayrina. So I don't want to attack her. I want to attack all of the others that are out, or the other one that is out here. So this right here is Auntie Ethel, not this one. This is actually Mayrina. Okay, so again, boy, I think I'm just going to take the chance of moving him over. I think Gale does have Misty Step. Doesn't he?
These mortals be.
He does. So he can move himself into a lot of different locations and then cast Magic Missile with his action. So I think I'm going to take the opportunity to try and get Astarion over here. At least a little more. Because Auntie Ethel seems to be wanting to stay up here. So we'll just try and get everybody into the fight as much as we can.
Can't give up.
So Shadowheart, there's not going to be a whole lot, except she's still on fire for one more turn, or for 4 more turns. She doesn't have any items, so I'm going to take a potion of greater healing here with her bonus action. And then with her action, I'm going to move up and try and cast Bless.
Moving.
If I can get within range. Nope. Can't. Okay. And I'm not going to be able to see Auntie Ethel that far back to get an attack on her.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Okay. Misty Step's a level 2 spell slot. I don't want to use one. I'm going to leave. Boy, this is getting too many
Step by step.
too many people out of the fight. I need to get them in to be causing damage here.
I swear.
Okay, so here I'm not going to have a choice but to jump toward her. Then move up and try a Divine Smite. Okay. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. Oh. This is getting ugly.
Save me! I'm begging you!
Okay. So, at least we got a Divine Smite on our attack of opportunity. So, let's look and see how she's facing. So maybe I can get Astarion up to here.
Let's go.
Okay, still too far. Okay. What we need to do is get her threatened. And that's going to be a little hard to do because she's going to want to move away from my Paladin every single time. But if we get her threatened, then I can do sneak attacks.
Talk to me.
So we're going to, again, move up here
Got to press on.
and just try and continue doing... So she's got Vicious Mockery, which is giving her disadvantage on her next attack roll, which is going to affect Guiding Bolt, because Guiding Bolt is an attack roll. So it's got Vicious Mockery. So I think what we're going to do is get Spiritual Weapon out here. So that we can get two things that she has to run away from that can threaten her. And now I'm going to try and cast Bless here. I still can't because of my distance. God, I hate the range on Bless. It's just so low. Okay, well, not a whole lot that I'm going to be able to do. I don't think I want to waste another spell slot here. She's going to have disadvantage on her next attack roll. Might as well just throw something else out there to get rid of Vicious Mockery.
Victory is assured.
Okay.
Swiftly now.
Let's get Gale in here. I'd prefer not to cause... I don't want to use the level 2 spell slot. I want to save Misty Step and a level 2 magic missile for in case she creates more clones of herself. Mayrina is wet for only one more turn, so I'm going to have to take that into consideration here. So I think I am going to be kind of stuck with Ice Knife here. Because the worst thing that could happen is I cast this, and then my Paladin has to fall down, or falls down or something while he's trying to get in there to make his attack. So I'm going to try and position it. Okay. Alright, so she went prone, which is good. And now, let's get up here. And we'll use... Yeah, because this would use up one of my other spell slots, and I don't want to. So, 70% chance because she's prone to hit here. What is that, my third 70% chance that I've missed? Okay. Might as well add Divine Smite onto my onto my Pommel Strike. So at least now she's got lower wisdom saves. Because yeah, Dazed is disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. So her armor class is also lowered because she doesn't have a +2 to dexterity or her armor class anymore, so she'll be a little easier to hit. Okay, so there they go. So, and it looks like wherever they landed, they took damage. I don't even know where they landed. Oh, here they are. Okay. So, where's the third one? Did she go invisible? No. Where did she go? Hello? This is really weird. Yeah, you can't double click on the portrait or anything.
Gone with the weave.
Okay, well, we'll use a level 1 magic missile on these two. Okay. So then she popped back into view. She wasn't there. She wasn't visible. But I guess removing at least those two brought her back into sight, which is good. So, okay, so yeah, I guess I must have missed it while I was looking. Okay, so there it is. There it is. So she went invisible. Okay. Yeah, I just missed it. I just missed it. So, okay, so she teleported one of them into one of the peculiar flowers out there, and it caused an explosion, which dealt 1 fire damage, which knocked it out. So all of that rolling, all the additional stuff that was popping up there kind of blurred it a little bit. So her detection cone
Let's turn someone inside
is
out.
there. I can get Astarion up to here.
Be quick.
I don't need to put him in hiding because I've already got, she's already threatened, so I can already do a sneak attack here. But the hiding gives me advantage on this attack. So let's just try and sneak attack here and see what damage we get. Okay, 11, that's good.
Concentrate. On the move.
So guiding bolt's now up to a 50% chance to hit. Okay. Alright, that's enough. I didn't expect that to crit. Okay, so now something a little special here. I'm gonna try and move everybody back away here. I want Shadowheart moved up as much because I'm just going to end all of my turns now.
I'm ready. Battle of wits.
Okay, so Auntie Ethel is below 20 hit points now. In early access, it was 10 hit points. In the full version, it's not. They've expanded that a little bit because they realize that there's a lot of opportunities for 10 hit point damages to happen. So they've expanded it, so you have to get her below 20 hit points now, and she will try and bargain with you for this. So we'll go ahead and end our turns here and here.
Wait! Wait just a tick! Killing me is a waste of time. I'll find a way to return. Always have, always will. But it's unpleasant. So how about we be civilized about this, I have something you want.
And this is also what I was talking about, moving my characters around. It's important that you position your characters when you're trying to get Auntie Ethel down to that point. With your highest persuasion characters or intimidation characters being next to Ethel, or the closest to Ethel, to try and make the check that you're going to go through. The character that's selected for Ethel to talk to is based upon which one is closest to her. And if you have a poor charisma or poor intimidation character next to her, then your chances of passing the check later on in this dialogue are going to be a lot harder. Okay?
You wound me, sweetie. My offer will put that little pact of yours to shame. Let me leave with the girl, and I'll give you power. You want to be stronger, tougher, smarter? Done! Anything is possible. Just let me keep the girl and her babe.
If her powers were worth anything, we wouldn't have beaten her. Finish this.
It's your choice, sweetness.
Okay, so here we have an intimidation option, and we have a deception option. Okay, now I have intimidation proficiency here, which is why I wanted my Paladin to be the closest. He also has a +2 in charisma going into this. These two options get you the best of both worlds. However, the DC checks on them are high. These two choices are one good, one evil type of thing, or the go ahead and attack and kill Auntie Ethel. Alright? If you want the +1 ability score, you have to select this one right now. If you want to just select Mayrina, then you can pick this one, or you can try and go for both with these options here. And I'm going to try the intimidation option. We're still going to need a massively good roll. And I'm hoping that all of those 1s, 2s, and 3s and missed 70%ers that I rolled in my combat are going to be made up for here by trying this. Because our DC is 20. We have a total bonus of 4. We can add in guidance for a 5 to 8. So we need to roll at minimum a 15 or a 12 if we get a really good roll here from guidance. Oh, wow. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, wow. So, not scripted. What is that? Streamer luck? But, yeah. You saw it live and in person here.
You greedy little bollocks. Fine. Here. I'll not soon forget this sweetness. You have my word.
But the deal! What about my husband? What happens to him?
Deal's off, you dumb cow. And you've him to thank for it. Not that it matters. I'll find another just as plump and ripe. I can set up shop elsewhere. People always need lotions and potions. Bollocks to luck. It's only the deal that counts. Bye-bye, Petal.
You bastard! You ruined it! You ruined everything! By making everything worse? Ethel was going to bring my husband back. Back from the dead. And now I'll never see him again. Because of you! This. Just a bit longer and my child would have been born. And all this would have been over. Don't judge me. I have nothing. My baby would have been raised in rags. Auntie Ethel promised to give this child a good life. Teach them magic, even. More than I could have done. I always wanted to be a mother. I just never thought I'd do it alone. Now I'll have to drag Connor's coffin all the way home. It's the only way this child will ever meet their father. I hope you're happy.
Okay, so now we have our choice to make, and there really isn't a choice for us. With our Paladin, and especially how we're multi-classing our Paladin, we are going to take the +1 bonus to Charisma. Right now, we are more focused on Strength, because of the need to be able to hit with our weapons. Once we get to a certain point in our Warlock leveling up, Strength is not going to matter. Charisma is going to be what matters. So that's what we are going to be focusing on here by taking this. And now here you have Auntie Ethel's hair. So if you just consume it, my charisma's 15 right now. And I'm getting a +2 bonus to my charisma checks. Now it's 16. And I'm getting +3 to my charisma checks. Okay. So that's why we laid out our ability scores how we did. Is to be able to count on getting this +1 to get us up to the even number 16. When we respec, we'll be doing the same thing, except that will be up to 18 during our respec at the start. Oh. All right, so not a horrible outcome. It just was a lot more tense getting there with all of the misses that happened during that fight. So, but it is what it is. Okay, so after this is done, you can head through the wooden door here. And into this room. Now this room is your goodie room, so to speak. So we're going to be looting all sorts of stuff in here. So nothing really on the desk to worry about. We do have more camp supplies. We have a couple of letters. So a letter to Ethel. So says from somebody named M. And they are saying that they have a girl who suits her particular appetites. So this isn't, Mayrina's not the first girl that she's tried to get a baby from. So this is an ongoing thing with her. And this is... Yeah, see, I believe... So, my red caps nabbed the bugger. They're taking their sweet time with him. The screaming stopped a few nights past. He'll die regretting he crossed a hag. A mother with a failing mind, you know me so well. So, yes. Looking for... a child. And we're going to learn much more about this as we go. So here's a potion of speed to get our potion of speed back. The ever-seeing eye and the bitter divorce. Now the bitter divorce moves the Save Mayrina quest forward because the bitter divorce is a wand with Connor's name on it. And the ever-seeing eye allows you to cast protection from evil and good. So this is a great thing that you wish you would have had before you, had to use a spell slot to cast it earlier on. But it's one of those great things that you can come out of your long rest, equip it, cast it on a party member, and then put it back in your pocket. And because protection from evil and good lasts until your next long rest. Another potion of speed, always good. Now here on the table here we have a whole bunch of custom potions. None of these are going to be anything that you're going to want to drink. But you can pick them all up and you can sell them if you'd like. These are kind of her potions that she would give out to somebody to try and kind of trick them into taking something. It's never exactly what you expect. Bunch of rings here, and then the last thing that's available to us is the Staff of Crones. So, looking through all the potions that we picked up, it doesn't tell you exactly what any of them do. But trust me, you're not going to want to drink any of these. The Staff of Crones allows you to cast Ray of Sickness. And the Ray of Sickness spell here can be cast... well, this is different now. I'm going to have to go through and test this. Because this says... comes back every short rest. It used to be that you could use it every turn as a spell, and it didn't matter. But here it looks like I haven't actually utilized this since my early access playthrough, so I don't know if they changed the Staff of Crones to allow you to cast Ray of Sickness only on a short rest. It used to be that you could cast it every turn, but it would also inflict 1d8 poison damage on you when you did it. It looks like this might have been changed in the full version here. But we'll take a look. We'll take a look at it and try and experiment with it as we go here. So let's do some quick things. Let's empty out our camp supplies here real quick. Okay, and then these alchemy ingredients we can send over there. And now everybody should be cleaned out. These two keys don't matter. We've already utilized them, but might as well collect all the keys in one spot. Okay. So I think that brings us back up to speed here. Alright, and then on your way out, we have a mushroom circle.
That all seems powerful. What can it do once it's extracted?
Nothing good can come of it unless it is contained. Why?
It might be useful. Who knows?
Okay, so outside here, this mushroom circle brings you out. You can walk around out here. You can see the extents of where you can walk. But there's nothing out here. Well, there hasn't been in the past. Maybe I was just missing stuff. I'm holding Alt as I go, but I don't think there's anything out here. Seems like a lost opportunity to me. But then coming back up here, you can see Mayrina is here. And we'll go ahead and talk to her.
I have something to ask.
Gods, didn't hear you coming. I know I should head home, but I can't bring myself to leave. The thought of putting him in a wheelbarrow and making the journey all over again.
A side note here, if you are playing as an Oath Paladin, you need to be very careful. One, with making the deal with Auntie Ethel, or two, this encounter here. Thinking about what your oath can and cannot do, this could be
What?
oath breaking.
You can?
You feel a surge of power from the wand. The air suddenly tastes acrid. It wants to be used.
Bring him back! Bring Connor back! Please!
Okay. This is where your options are, and I think this one will break your oath, but I'm not entirely sure.
What? What's happening? Why is he still dead?
You feel something pull at you. The creature yearns for a master.
What have you done to him? Not permanent! Bits of him have fallen off! I wanted him back! Back the way he was! Not this! Connor? Connor! I don't even know if he's in there. But he might be. And if he is, I'll find him and bring him back. Thanks. But we'll need more than luck. A bloody miracle, more like it. I'll find a wizard or something. Maybe someone in Baldur's Gate can help us. Connor always said you can find anything in that city. Remember? And thank you, I guess. Come on, love. Let's go.
That is not the end of Mayrina. That completes the Save Mayrina quest, but that is not the end of it. You are going to learn a lot more about her and encounter her again throughout your travels. So, what may seem a little bit odd right now is going to be different, a little bit different once you, like I say, once you encounter her again later on. Okay? So, taking a second to look at our map. We've now unlocked everything here at the tea house and the surrounding environs. So now we have, and we've emptied out everything up here at Joaquin's Rest. The Blighted Village has been completely opened up. So now our last thing to do is to head over here toward the Goblin Camp. And that is going to be exactly what we do next. So for this, we are going to make our way back to the Emerald Grove. I want to check. Okay, so another 1,000 XP or so. Yeah.
More goblins. What's next?
All right. What now? What path lies before me?
Goblins, gnomes, so many ways to die.
Sorry, just looking around at a couple of things, taking stock of where we are.
Need anything else? Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one in need.
Okay, so we're going to sell off items here. Actually, let's go down to Damon first.
Cut his teeth. For his sake, I hope he's dead already.
Because just like I did,
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
like I did last time, I want to make sure that I get his approval up. And we're going to do this. A little bit at a time and see what we can get him up to here. Prefer not to use the armors. Okay, and now Auntie Ethel's potions down here. You can tell these aren't going to be worth any good because they're all worth 1. I think there's actually one of them that the benefits or the downside is not huge. Okay, so we're keeping that greatsword. We're going to get rid of all the Whispering Masks. And just so you know, the Whispering Mask does not work outside of Auntie Ethel's lair. So you can't use it to find invisible items outside of her lair. I have tested it. Trust me. It doesn't work. So... Okay, so... yeah, looks like I'm going to have to end up selling off the studded leather here. Spider step boots. I'm looking through the magical items that I might want to sell as well. So I am going to sell the Abyss Reckoners. I don't need to keep them around. The Great Axe +1. Actually, I can barter this to him. I can barter Reason's Grasp. Actually, yeah. Gale can't use that. Okay, I think I want to get rid of Gandrel's Aspiration as well. Okay, I think that's good enough.
Me too.
So, actually, I didn't check and see if he has anything to
What would you
buy,
steal? I have, well,
as far
something
as
close.
armor or weapons goes. So, chainmail, ring mail, padded mail, or padded armor. We've already got all the +1s. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Let's go back up to Aaron here. We'll check his inventory and then we'll take a long rest. Definitely need it for my action economy.
Need anything else? Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one in need.
Okay, so pale green, muddy red, we've already looked at. Yeah, that's muddy red right there. Okay. So here we're just going to... you can't sell those off anyway, you can't afford them. Okay. I think that's good then. Do I have all of my... Okay.
Sylvanus be with you.
So we're going to go ahead and take a long rest. We'll sort out any conversations that we need to have in here. And then we're going to head out to the Goblin Camp. And we'll spend the second half of the stream going through that. Whoops. Okay, so let's have our conversations here.
Well, my day just improved. Did you want something? Very serious of you. But go ahead. It's strange. I've been dwelling on what I told you before about wanting to become a Dark Justiciar. But perhaps I should be content with my lot. I'm already blessed to have you at my side, after all. Fine. What's on your mind? Quite splendidly, to give credit where it's due. You and I have shared some good times together, and it seems we have plenty in common.
Okay, so nothing new from Shadowheart.
Hello, my dear.
Okay, nothing new. Alright, and we have something new here from Will.
Will's brows furrow as your minds connect. He sees the burning embers of Joaquin's rest, then Floric's face as she tells you of Ravengard's abduction.
Hells. Older Ravengard's been taken. Then we need to seek him out and get him to safety. You see, Grand Duke Ravengard is my father. I know I haven't said. Our relation was no matter of pride, not least for him. You heard right. My father and I were close once upon a time, until he disowned me and cast me out of Baldur's Gate. I can't tell you more. The pact forbids it. My lips are quite literally sealed. He made me an exile. That said, I'm not about to let him suffer at the hands of his captors. I've been asking myself the same question. What makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Men's Oberanzen would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast. I know, and you're right. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And I see Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
Okay. So because Will was not with us when we went to Joaquin's Rest, we now learn that the Duke that was stolen there when we talked to the Flaming Fist is his father. And that's going to
How can I help?
be a much bigger part of his completely rewritten storyline from Early Access.
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Okay. So that ends that. We still have Withers and our Oathbreaker Knight down here.
Hope you're keeping well, friend. Master? Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
Okay, and now we're going to go to bed. Don't want the gruel selected. Don't want the raspberries selected. So now I need a 5. There we go. Make sure those selections are right. Yes. Yeah, I own a couple of cats, Jerry, but Scratch is definitely the goodest boy. So now we're ready to leave camp. So actually, I could have just left camp and headed right out. Because we're going to head back to the Blighted Village. And we're going to explore here, straight west from the Blighted Village, down and around this way, and open up all of this. And then we're going to head back to the main gate here. Actually, no, probably easier if I head south out of the Blighted Village and open all of this up and then head over there. So I think we'll do that. Oh, that made me dizzy. Okay, so head south out of the Blighted Village. And while we're here, want to make sure that the ever-seeing eye gets moved over to Shadowheart. And
what's next?
Now she can cast Protection from Evil and Good and doesn't need the spell to do it. So her spell book, we can remove Protection from Evil and Good, and we can add in another spell here from her spell list. So looking at what we have, I still have Bless, I do. So I do need another second level spell here. Don't need Lesser Restoration. I have an amulet for that. So I think we're probably going to go with Hold Person here.
What to do?
And now her two amulets are the Ever-Seeing Eye and the Amulet of Sylvanas. Either one is situational whenever needed, so I can leave the Ever-Seeing Eye on her right now until I cast it, and then I can swap it out for the Amulet of Sylvanas if need be. And in case you don't know, you can dual wield quarterstaves if you have the feat that goes along with it to allow you to do it, which can make
Moving ahead.
some very interesting builds for magic users if you're willing to sacrifice the feat to be able to do it. So I'm just going to head back over here and open up this one little section of the map that was still closed. Okay, and now I can head back this way. I am going to cast Guidance on myself as we're walking. Okay. Okay, and a bunch of camp supplies and some gold. There's another berry bush here we can loot. Collapsed burrow here, nothing in it. I can cast guidance again, just in case. Okay, and we've talked about this way to access the Goblin's Camp before. You can jump down here and you can cross this log and go in this back way. You will have to be able to perceive and disarm some blast mine traps that are in there, as well as deal with the webs that are on the ground. But it is an alternate way to get into the Goblin Camp, if you would like. So for me, that's not the way I'm going to go about it. I'm going to walk right in the front gate. Have fun with that encounter, Jerry. And I'm holding Alt as I go here. Again, just kind of moving in short bursts. Oh, you said you were planning to slay a hidden dragon today.
More for me.
Okay, so one more time with guidance as we finish clearing this out. And there it is. And then down here, of course, is the front gate. And this is the way that we are going to cross. So from here, whoops. Actually, I am going to drop a quick save just in case anything game corruption happens. So this is the way that we've mostly chosen to go into the Goblin Camp. Like I say, there are multiple ways in here. And you can go exploring over here. This way, if you want to bypass the front gate, you can come this way. You can jump across from here to here. And then you can enter and cross the bridge here into the main Goblin Camp area over there and bypassing this front area. However, we want to go in here.
Goblins ahead.
We'll need a cover story.
Look it, Claw. Sapper's here.
Unless you got another reason to be here. Feckshite.
Let's try to be diplomatic, shall we? Goblins don't come by the handfuls, but by the dozens.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Okay. And we, like I say, we've had talked before, there are multiple ways to go through this encounter here, the deception checks, a nature check, intimidation, which I obviously have proficiency in, but also the tadpole check. Honestly, I can't remember how many times we've used our tadpole powers, but I definitely want to use it here just to be on the safe side. I know we used it once in the encounter with the dead true soul on the road and his siblings. We want to make sure we use it twice, so I'm going to do it here. Just, oh boy, wow, okay.
Downclaw, bad girl!
A shadow swims across your vision, and a familiar voice tells you to be calm. You are loved.
Easy, lads. We got a true soul coming through. Lads are celebrating the raid on Joaquin's Rest. We captured a Duke, we did, all the way from the city. I'm sure the higher-ups will make sure you get the best of the spoils, your excelleness. The boss is in the temple inside. Midara, too. And Priestess Gut can show you how many new recruits we got. I don't know any house in your excelleness. Oh, one of them thieves? If he ain't dead, he's in the pits with the rest of them.
Down in the pits, no less. Sounds ominous among creatures that love blood sports. Better step to it.
Okay, so that gets us by the gate encounter here. And again, like I talked about earlier, here's the back way into this area. You don't want to go up here too far. Okay. And these perception checks, oh, I rolled really, really low.
I'm ready. Looks like a
Okay.
trap.
You can see that we have blast mines out here. Now, you can disarm those. Or once you perceive them, you can just attack them with ranged weapons and blow them up. Okay. So, but this is what you'll have to deal with. And there's another failed perception check because this one's a DC of 17. This is kind of what I was illustrating, is that some of the DCs on these are really high. So sneaking your way in through here can be a little difficult.
Can't give up
So
now.
just keep that in mind if you're planning to come in that way.
Breathe deep and move.
Okay, we have some goblins drinking back here.
Hear my voice. Obey my command.
The voice is irresistible. You recognize the overwhelming authority that you've used on others, only infinitely stronger, and turned against you. Your vision clouds, leaving you in a dark, featureless shadowscape. Nothingness in every direction. Then there are three figures before you. An armored male elf, exuding power and command. A handsome younger man with a quick, easy smile. And a pale young woman with even paler eyes.
These are my chosen. They speak for me. Aid their search for the prison, and you will be worthy to stand beside them in my presence.
You feel energy pulsing from the artifact, lifting the pain from you, pushing the voice away.
My power grows. My forces gather. The reckoning draws.
Don't give me that look. I don't know what just happened any more than you do. We should keep going.
I don't know what that toy of hers is, but I'm glad it's on our side.
I don't know. Not exactly. All I know is it's important I get it back to Baldur's Gate. At any cost. My home. A cloister of Shah followers. Hidden in the city. A group of us was sent to retrieve the artifact. Now I'm the only one left. I can't afford to fail. There's nothing more I can tell you. All I remember is that I have to get back to my contact in the city.
A powerful artifact indeed, to have caught the attention of so many. Not least the Absolute itself, the three figures in the vision, the Chosen are searching for it. With the cultists' aid, it will not be long before they find it. Before they find you. You have evaded them so far, thanks, it seems, to the artifact itself. But how long can such protection last? Shadowheart has made her position clear. She will see that it is taken to its destination. At any cost. And you still do not know what it even is.
Trust me. I'll guard it with my life. Let's keep going.
Okay, so we learned quite a bit from that interaction there.
Something over there.
And the three hidden figures that we have seen are obviously going to play really big parts here in the second act of the game. We're going to find out who they are, we're going to find out much more about them, and what they're doing, and all of that sort of stuff once we get into that act. So, just a little foreshadowing as to what's being led up to, and that sort of stuff. So here, don't forget that we have a beehive here we can search. And here's what we showed earlier with the area that you can jump across to access this area earlier, or without doing the gate encounter. And now here we're going to make our way into the front of the camp. And I would like to see... Okay, so I do have one here. Okay. So we're going to have Speak with Animals on when we go through this.
great mortals all kinders to quake. Ah, a stranger in a air camp. Here, Volo! Back off! Glory! With fragulous crown and with scepter abraid, draw Regslin, short work of the innkeeper made. The inn burnt to ash. The captives were many. Goblin kind had reduced them to cowering filthenny. So raise it, your goblets, and drain them with pride. Draw Regslin, the true soul, had led you galad.
You! Move off!
Do as she says. Now. Now, where was I? Huh?
Wait a tick. That a friend of yours?
Oh, certainly not. What are you doing? I'm busy here.
You lying.
To you? Never. Come, let's continue our ballad. Draw Regslin, draw Regslin. I am draw Regslin. Tumptuous. Draw Regslin.
You broke him.
Wait, wait. Draw Regslin. We pray. We.
Come on, pigeon. Back to your cage.
Now look what you've done.
Come on.
Okay, so that opens up the quest to rescue Volo, which we are definitely going to do.
Right, yes. Not fool me.
I don't fancy chasing this thing. It looks right peeved. Has it even a bird?
It's got a beak like any other chicken, don't it? Let's just bloody play.
Okay, so one of the things you definitely want to do is go over here and talk to Grat the Trader, while this place is still not hostile.
Something jingling in your pocket, looking to spend it. Nicked him off the dead, didn't I?
Okay, so you don't have to worry about raising the attitude with Grat. He's not going to be living long enough to matter. But we will take a look around here and see what we've got. Okay, so the Swiresy shoes, your jump distance is increased by 1.5 meters. Can be useful if you've got somebody else who doesn't have any other boots to wear, then might as well. It's only 70 gold. And then hide armor +2, nothing that I need. The gloves of archery. So the benefit to this is that if you don't have proficiency with long bows or short bows, then you gain it. So you're able to use them and get all the proficiency unlocks. But in addition, your ranged weapon attacks do an additional 2 damage. So that can be quite useful as... wait, what just happened? Oh, okay. Yeah, can be quite useful to anybody using ranged attacks. So it's one of those things where the gloves of thievery you can wear, and then only when you need to pick a lock or disarm a trap, but the rest of the time you use your gloves of archery. You would like, you're not going to gain anything because Astarion as an elf already has proficiency with long bows and short bows, but he is going to gain an additional 2 damage to his ranged weapon attacks. You could, however, give them to anybody else as well who doesn't have proficiency with them. So, for instance, Gale could wear them and now have proficiency with longbows and short bows. But in this case, it's just something that I'm going to pick up. They are cheap as well. So both of these items are going to go onto him, and I'll just have to remember to swap out the gloves of archery for the gloves of thievery whenever I want to specifically open a lock or anything like that. Okay, so boots of aid and comfort are a good thing to have for your healer in your party. Whenever you heal a target, you gain 3 hit points, 3 temporary hit points, so also very useful. The +1 weapons, not a big deal that you're going to find in here. The returning pike we've talked about before. It's a pike that you can throw. It's a 2-handed polearm weapon. You can throw it and it's going to return to you when you throw it. Later on in the game, one of the best weapons in the game is very similar to this in how it works. So the Doomhammer is always something that's very interesting to have. It's 2-handed. It gives you the Edge of Terror perk. So it keeps that target from regaining any hit points, and any undead creatures that you hit with it get advantage or get disadvantage on their attack rolls. So in situations where you're especially going up against undead targets, this can be very, very useful to be able to impart that disadvantage on your attack rolls. And it is a 2-handed martial weapon, so it's got that, you know, hard-hitting ability with 2d6 on it, so can be very useful, just not something that, again, I'm going to be focused on in my playthrough here. So I think that finishes out what we're going to need there. I might as well sell off this armor and stuff like that I'm carrying. And anything else that I have. Okay. Yes, I do, Peter, and that's as a paladin, I have multiple different options for dealing with undead, and especially as an Oathbreaker, I have a lot more options in that, so I'm not really too worried about it. However, you know, speaking as to what it can do, it can be very, very useful. And even as a paladin or a cleric with turn undead and that sort of stuff, imparting disadvantage on attack rolls to especially a powerful undead single target can still be very, very useful. So
Get moving. I've got other customers.
Okay, don't forget to talk to him, because there are some good things there in his inventory. And now we're going to go over here. We're going to talk to Krolla.
Got a wing.
Well, now, you look like a tough un, but have you got smarts, skills, guts? And you're gonna need it, mate. This ain't your standard dungeon dive, right? This is chicken chasing. It's got feathers, don't it? A beak? Besides, I reckon it owes us, seeing as how it just ate our last chicken. Reckon it owes us a game. You want to hear the rules or not? Only the greatest game since eggs sprouted legs, mate. You just gotta chase the chicken round the course and through the posts. But that ain't all. Gotta do it quick and alone. Any of your mates step in, you lose. Time runs out, you lose. Sound easy? It ain't. Better contenders than you have been bested by the bird. Fancy yourself, do you? Care to pin that claim down with some coin? We got the coin. We got the challenger. Now we just need the crowd, eh?
Okay, so chicken chasing. We've seen this before here. Multiple ways to do this encounter. If you don't want to actually do the chicken chase race, you can talk to her, you can exit out of the dialogue and then go back in, ask her what the rules are again, and then tell her that it's unethical to chase chickens and try and persuade her to let the owlbear go. You can do the chicken chasing here. You can also play this game normally. In that, as you approach the owlbear is going to want to run away from you. As it runs away from you, it's going to take a random open path here. So it can start off and run around this way, it can run around this way. When it gets here, it can run into here, or it can run around to either side here. And what the goal is to get it to run over here, and what you really have to do is pick up these crates and stuff and block off access to certain areas so it only goes one way if you're planning to play it straight up. Here I've got Speak with Animals on, and I've got a high persuasion, so I'm going to play this a little bit different.
Hurt me. Run. Where?
I'm going to persuade it to run to the posts.
Safe. There. Run.
Okay, and now it's just going to run straight up there, and you won't have any problem winning the chicken chase.
Come here.
Okay, I'm going to go over here and talk to the owlbear.
Mother gone. Hungry. New home? Maybe. Got to get away from here first.
The cub seems anxious to leave, but afraid to defy the goblins. They have to be dealt with one way or the other.
Okay, so now I'm going to go talk to Krola here. I've already used my tadpole power.
Looky! That thing works even better in a chicken. Reckon we won't eat it after all. Pardon? You're what? Think you misunderstood, mate. Ain't no winnings, 'cause only a goblin can win chicken chase. Says so in the rules.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Okay, so we do have some options here for intimidation and persuasion. I have proficiency in both.
It were only a joke, mate. Here, no quarrel with ya.
Don't mess with a half-orc, man. They get angry. You don't want to see them when they're angry. Okay, so we're going to go about something else here as well. So let's walk around here and don't want to steal. Just want to see if I can pick up anything. We are going to go talk to Crusher again. And we can take somebody else in there. And use an illithid power on him. Okay, so here are some crates that we can pick up here, and a wicker basket we can pick up. So we'll go talk to Crusher here real quick.
Careful.
And
My faith will guide me.
Yeah, we'll do it with Shadowheart.
Have to keep pushing.
Statue of Saluna. This room must have been dead.
Fresh disarm with me bare hands. Weaker than pixies, humans.
Oh, you got him good.
Bite your tongue, Philip.
A half-elf, thinking you rule the world.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
You see, she had a +1 from Forbidden Knowledge.
A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Forgive me. I had no idea. The other true souls are inside, planning and such.
Okay. We went through the full conversation with him last time.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
But we can do it again here, just so
Weaker than pixies, humans.
we can see.
Oh, you got him good.
And who are you? Another pest? Think you rule the world just because you got a scary face? Ha!
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Well, not us. Things are changing. We got the absolute on our side now. You better learn your place. Go on. Kiss my foot. Or I'll wipe that nasty look right off your face.
Well, go on. Give him a nibble.
I love Astarion. So here I'm going to choose the intimidation option. It's a high DC, so I'm at a 50-50 shot right now. Can add in guidance. I do have some inspirations, if I need them.
Look, mate, just piss off. You're not welcome here.
There it is, Philip. Thanks. All right, Chad. Everyone can blame Philip for that one. That's all his, right?
The goblin stares, mouth agape. Then he sets his jaw and falls to his knees.
There. I've done it. Arrogant swine.
Alright, so that's the full encounter with Crusher. That's right, Philip, I do. So, I'm going to go and pick up some crates around here.
I'll take that.
Actually, I'll search them first. And I think we have another one out here I can pick up, yes. Okay, and another one here.
Just another crate.
I'm talented.
Alright, and I think that's it. But I can get Astarion to lockpick this chest over here.
A crooked tongue.
Oh, and I didn't get advantage. I failed it. I heard it. I heard the little hiss. Again, I forgot to change to my thieves' gloves. That's something I'm gonna have to get used to. I've just been walking up to them and rolling them so often that I've forgotten about it. I think it's probably better if I change out the gloves actually so that I'm using the gloves of thievery all the time, and then I change over to the gloves of archery before I go into a combat encounter. That's probably the better way to go about it.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Yeah.
That one was all my fault.
What do you call a
One day I'll catch
Okay, so we do have one more crate over here. And we'll pick that up. Okay. So now what we're going to do is try and deal with what we were thinking about during the previous live stream.
More heretical
So we
symbols,
have
of course.
one of these holes down here. Okay, let's drop that on top of that and see if we can cover these up from down here. This time, maybe. There's another one here. Take one of these boxes. I don't know if you can actually pass a pickpocket with him or not. I haven't tried it. Okay, and I think there's another one over here. There is. Actually, let's put one of these crates down. Gotta find the one little pixel where it's gonna work. Right there. Okay, so not enough space to use that there.
Maybe I need more pockets.
So we'll put the other crate down. Okay, and then I think there's one more over here. Yep. And this might be the same problem with the size of this crate. Looks like it is. Where'd the second one go? We picked up two of them, didn't we? Okay.
They finished cooking that dwarf yet? How many did you have? 5? That's nothing. This is gonna be my night.
So let's see if I can pick up. I can pick up the stone. Or it says it can't be added to inventory. So let's go over here. I think there's maybe a vase or something up here that we can add. There is. Okay, so we can't pick that up. We did need to come up here and loot these items anyway. Can I pick up the chair? There's another crate here. Okay, so I forgot about that up here.
What am I to do? That might be worth a look.
No one's stopped me yet.
Okay, so some scrolls for Gale, and all the rest of it for me. Okay, so I can't pick up any of these crates up here. So I'll just, yeah, that chest is going to be too big. So I can't pick up any of those.
Best be on my way.
Let me quickly see if there's another regular crate out here.
Can't even enjoy a drink in peace.
Somewhere. And old Crusher's taking out his solace out here now. There's one right there.
I bet that'll fit in my pack.
So we'll see if this one works. We'll pick up the barrel while we're here. That's maybe a little smaller, a little different shape. See if we can cover up this last one. Okay, perfect. So, I don't think there are any more down here. Just trying to remember. I don't think there are any around here. So, I think that might be it. So, on our way out, we will see if that works. Okay, so here we're going to climb up top as usual. And we're going to break our group here.
That's a friendly looking shadow. Looks like the booze got the better of them. They're practically unconscious. Can't risk being in open view.
Okay. And now... Okay, we did find the cracked wall, so... There you go. So we've opened up the collapsed corridor on the other side, which is exactly what we wanted to do.
Time to press ahead.
Because again, we're going to come out this way once we're done inside. And now we're going to make our way back up here.
Oh, heck. My head hurts bad. You crash about like a drunken ogre. I'll rip your tongue.
Okay.
Break your legs. Make you quiet.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
So we'll try an intimidation here.
You are right. You are strong. But if you wake me again, I will kill you.
These guys are a little bit buggy with their the whole jumping next to them thing. So I think what I'm gonna do is have this combat fight out here first. I'll just have it right now. And
watch your back.
Going to want to move everybody else back here.
For now.
A long way to go still. I'll take this way. Unseen. Perfect.
Brawl low. I've got a long road ahead.
I'm going to make my attack from this way. Okay, so again, 27. We dealt with this last time. Probably not going to be a kill. Okay, we got luck. We got really good on the damage there. Okay, so now I have my Divine Smite on critical hit I could add in, but there's no reason for me to waste the spell slot now. He's going to be surprised. Oh, he's not. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why was he not surprised? Okay. Wow. Oh, was I not in hiding? Oh boy, maybe that's what it was. Great. Alright. Wow, okay. Yeah, the critical hit express came through something fierce there. Oh, you're absolutely kidding me. Now you're just trolling. Wow. Well, I do have plenty of potions of healing here. Wow, that was crazy. He just super critted me.
That's curious.
Okay, got some good potions there.
Something good here, I hope.
Okay, and I think Astarion
Someone there.
probably needs... Okay, so he needs one Thieves' Tool to replace that one that he,
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting
that he had to use.
Can't slow down.
Okay, we'll make our way across the bridge over to the other side real quick.
Goblins are such vile little parasites.
Given your own nature, are you really the one to judge?
Hey, ooh, couple of good potions here as well. Then we'll make our way down here onto this lower level. Okay, we'll refresh our guidance here.
All right, time to skulk about.
Okay.
I wonder what the next move is.
Hard to get a camera view on this. Okay. We'll try and use, since she's already got. Okay, so she failed the second one.
On I go.
Traps. How considerate.
Oh boy, here go the rolls. Thank goodness I remember to switch out to the gloves.
Be careful. There are traps about.
And last one here.
Simple.
Hey, there we go. Made up for the nat 1 a little bit ago. Okay, the glowing shield. Oops.
Moving.
No time to rest.
Alright. So, we already have the safeguard shield, which is +2 armor class, of course, and +1 saving throws. The glowing shield gives you loving protection. So, once per short rest, if you fall below 50% hit points, you gain 8 temporary hit points the next time you take damage. So, can be, you know, very useful for your frontline melee tank type characters. Again, here on Shadowheart, we're using the Wood shield. But then also remember that Gale has shield proficiency. So Gale can carry a staff, which is a versatile weapon. It can be used either one-handed or two-handed, and a shield at the same time. So, and still be able to cast his spells, and his armor class now goes up to 13. Okay? So just keep that in mind, that Gale's able to use shields as well. And I don't think we need to look at anything else out here. No, we don't.
Light on my feet.
Actually, we can just go down this way, though. since we're done up here,
What's a tick got to be sad about?
okay, we've gone through what's out here. This area down here, we can go down here now. Actually, no, before I go down there. Okay.
I'll be a big old boy.
Sometimes looting those chests can be a little bit finicky.
Can't even enjoy a drink in peace.
Okay, somebody's bath supplies down here. And now, here we go with this again.
How delicious.
I'm going to see if this thing works or not, or if it's going to decide to glitch out and blow me to Kingdom Come again.
Be careful.
Okay,
There are traps about.
so he was able to perceive it this time, so I'll be very careful and click to disarm it. Got a higher DC, but I do have guidance still on. It's Dungeons and Dragons. Always look behind waterfalls.
It's mine now.
So there's some weave moss, there is some scrawled notes here, which is basically ideas for a love letter that's been sitting around. Nothing, you know, different. And then a lockpick. Oh boy, another nat 20. That's bad for later. And here we pick up a great axe +1, some crafting supplies, some parchment. This is from Klaga, who we met upstairs, talking about basically a letter to Minthara. She's probably in love with Minthara. And more crafting supplies, both really good. The Hill Giant Finger for elixirs of Hill Giant Strength, and the Pegasus Feather for elixirs of Heroism. And some more camp supplies, and now we'll make our way back down. So don't forget that that area is there. You just have to be careful when you're navigating it, because that tripwire up there can be a little finicky, be a little touchy. You just get within proximity of it and things can go boom.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're ready to make our way inside.
Should take a trophy. Cut off his ear.
Things get a little laggy with all the goblins walking around out here. So actually, before we go inside, no, we want to go inside first. And then we're going to come back out here and deal with some of this lag.
Let's see.
Bloody racket.
Okay, so I'm going to split the group here. Astarian is good to go.
Much fun. that those thieves almost got past.
Shall we?
Okay, so entering turn-based mode. I'm gonna hide here. Okay, and then I'm going to get out of dodge.
Over here.
And I'm not even going to stick around to wait for it. Okay, Astarion gets an inspiration for that, which I needed to get one back.
No one back home will ever believe this.
And here I'm going to go in actually with the Astarion in the lead.
Oi! Ain't no party in here. We're doing the Absolute's work. State your business. Now.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Okay, so I'm going to get Astarion to use his tadpole power here. Whoa. Wow. Unexpected.
A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Oh, beg pardon. You must be here to join the other true souls. Please, go right ahead. Well, because that's what you are, innit? One of them as hears our thoughts, and the voice of the Absolute. Like Priestess Gut and Boss Ragslin. Gods, we even got a drow now. The Absolute is gathering us all together. For something big, I reckon. Bloody racket.
Seluna. As if mingling with a horde of goblins wasn't bad enough. Let's do what we have to do, then get out of here. Quite the understatement, but yes. Let's not linger in this place any more than necessary.
So obviously Shadowheart doesn't like being in a Selûnite temple.
Don't waste a step.
So we'll make our way in here.
Do you feel her inside you?
Let's go over and take care of a couple of things over here on this side first. And then it should be time to end our stream for the day.
Poor lad. I could give you peace, you know. But no. You gotta keep silent, don't you? Where do they flee to, you stubborn rat?
Please, stop!
Here to see your friend, have ya? Come and join him if you like.
Say we'll take over. His work is sloppy. He'll kill the prisoner too quickly.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Okay, so again, some options down here. Deception, performance. Either one's giving me from my +3. It's got a 20 DC here. Okay, we can afford one more inspiration here. Okay.
You? I'll believe that when I see it. Get out then! Wasting my time like that! Be right.
Okay, so let's go deal with this. And I'll come back to that here in a second. So, I believe somebody in chat told me last time that if I take my armor off when I do this, the checks are different. Not entirely sure or not, but it will be an interesting check to see.
I want to have a word.
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here.
You recognize the Scourge. This man is a follower of Leviatha, goddess of pain.
Ah, are you also here to assist with the prisoner?
Please. The things they do to that man? So crude and primitive. I was invited to teach them. I live for pain and its intricacies, you see. But, alas.
Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. Pain is an intimate thing. It should be delivered with a loving and measured hand. But trying to discuss such subtleties with these creatures is simply... Forgive me, but that look in your eyes, something terrible has happened to you. Because I see those same eyes when I look in the mirror, dear one. We've all suffered in these dark times. It is little wonder you bear scars of pain and anguish. Please, let me alleviate this pain. As the Maiden of Pain, the goddess Leviatha teaches us, through penance, administered by my skilled hand. My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
I must see this. Don't you dare say no.
Oh, I have something exquisite in mind. Both Leviatha and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin.
Okay, remember, I only have 2 inspirations left as well.
Face the wall and let us begin, dear one.
Oh.
The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it.
Okay. So, Ardent Apostle is giving you a +4 bonus. So, interesting. Well, that's going to make these checks fairly trivial. Oh wow. Oh. That is the biggest jinx that I have ever imposed on myself in this game. It's not the biggest jinx I've ever imposed on myself in tabletop, but it is the biggest jinx here in the game.
As you wish, dear one. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Wonderful. You want more? I'll give it to you. That's it! Welcome the pain. Let it become part of you. I hope that's a promise, dear one. Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I am proud to have served you this penance. Oh, as did I, dear one. Loviatar herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine.
Okay. So, at least I got that inspiration back. And again, if you haven't, or if you've forgotten, you can always click on a slot and it will bring up all the available options for that slot. Can't remember actually which one I was wearing there. This I know was the Speedy Light Feet. Okay, I think this was the... Ah, yes, it was the Gloves of Heroin. Okay. So, we do have plenty of healing potions left again. I'm saving my action economy for later on. So, with that, I think that brings us to a really good spot to end things today. So, it was a quite interesting day as far as the rolls went, but then also dealing with Auntie Ethel and that whole encounter, and now we're starting to work our way through here. So it was a fun day today. I'm looking forward to where this progresses at next week. Just as a reminder, the Wednesday Starfield stream won't be happening live, but I will set a 3-hour video to go public at that time, so you can kind of watch along with what I did. And then we'll be back again here at these same times next week for our regular live streams of Baldur's Gate 3. So, as always, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is me, Commander Jorval, saying until next time, fare thee... Oh, I can tell you real quick, Peter, before I do that. 350-ish, give or take. And on that note, fare thee well.